Wild Horses by the Rolling Stones on XFM 104.9. Well, I think, the listening public would have enjoyed Knob News there.
Oh.
So, I mean, there was a lot of Knob News this week.
I was surprised. You know, I would have thought it would be hard sometimes to get Knob News together, but...
I would have thought it would have been part of a bigger news programme, but, I mean, I don't think we'd dedicate a whole, sort of, you know, like John Craven's news round.
Yeah.
A whole 5 minutes to knob-related news.
Yeah.
There was other news, was there, in the week at all? Carl, it wasn't just all knob-related, you didn't just research.
No, they're the ones that sort of stand out. There was Christ on a crisp.
Right, what's that? That's obviously a crisp that someone vaguely thinks looks a bit like Robert Powell.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a load of twaddle, yeah.
There was a bloke who can, blow up balloons using his ears.
What do you mean?
Look at him. Just,
yeah, well, it's all connected, isn't it? That's, you know, you're just redirecting it, aren't you?
Pointless though, isn't it?
It is pointless. No, I'm sort of downplaying it like it's no big deal, but it is pretty impressive.
It's not. When was the last time you blew up a balloon?
Oh, I don't know.
That's what I mean. It's not needed. It's not impressive. That's what I mean. That's what
But you can say that about any form of sort of like bizarre entertainment. I don't think you have to hang yourself from hooks, but a lot of people go and see Jim Rose Circus. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't see the...
But would you go and see that?
What, a man blowing up balloons did? No. If it was a mate of mine, I'd go, do that thing you can do. You know, to a group of new friends, I'd go, alright, then I'd get on with it. You know, to me, it's below, an average card trick, doing something like that.
Apparently, though, he does make balloon animals with his penis, so,
which is pretty good, isn't it?
Up with his ears, so.
It's always a snake.
Leads
So there's a little snake. I go, yeah, well done.
back to
Put it
the
away.
news. Right, now listen then. What about another feature we'd like doing?
What?
Song with a story.
Okay, he's been working on this, hasn't he?
He has, hasn't he?
He's like a producer, isn't he?
Yeah.
But with a completely round head.
Just, you know, I was saying that, you were saying I don't like music, but I'm saying I do if I can hear what they're singing about, and there's a reason to sort of
So
listen to it.
have you turned into 50s dad? What is this?
No, but you know, it's like, it's nice to have a song where you go, you know, I can't turn it off because I need to know how it ends. You know what I mean? It's like a mini...
Right, like a mini film. He
mini
can't
film.
sit through a film unless it's got a grotesque in it. He can watch The Elephant Man, because he's getting a glimpse of this, he's waiting to see the bloke's face. That's all he's waiting for, right? And so, 3 minutes is about as much as you can maintain his,
well, last week we did, Babushka.
yeah.
You know, that woman dressing up, sort of tricking her husband, then it sort of backfires and that. Don't know how it ended properly, I don't know if they split up or whatever. But this week...
There's no follow-up. Kate Bush isn't now penning the sequel. Right, go on then, what's this thing?
Pinball Wizard.
Right, okay, what's the story there?
It's about this sort of deaf, dumb and blind kid
Right.
who's good at pinball. That's it.
See, I don't believe he would be good at pinball.
But even if he is, it's a lot to give up, innit? Just for that.
Well, he didn't give it up.
No, but it's not like, well, you can't even say to him, oh, you know, a lot of bad news and that, but you're good at pinball. It's just a bit rubbish. I mean, does he even know he's playing pinball? Is what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? And it's not hard, it's just moving the thing, you know, just hitting the buttons hard.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, if he was good at Pac-Man or something, you go, oh yeah. But...
It wouldn't scan, would it? Well, I mean, what were they thinking of? What were the Who thinking of when they wrote this?
Well, let's have a listen to it.
But, you see, now, being
He's the Pac-Man wizard.
it kind of works.
Yeah.
He's deaf, dumb and blind, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty grim, isn't it?
It's rubbish, isn't it?
Well, don't say that. Oh, that's alright, I can't hear.
No, but it is like, it's just the worst, isn't it? I can't imagine what that would be like. It's pointless. I'm being a tapeworm or something, isn't it? It's just... No, but what I'm saying is, what sort of a life is that? It's horrible.
It is a bit like being one of those creatures deep in the ocean.
Well, look, can I just answer your questions? It must be terrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, job done.
But would you want a song about it, and, you know, he's good at pinball?
But it's not a real person. I mean, well, we were getting onto the realms of
Well,
people with
let's have a
disabilities,
listen,
but he is not a bloke that existed they sang a song about.
Well, listen to it. Anyway, let's...
Well, it's not a true story. I don't need to listen to
let's
it.
have a listen.
Oh, okay. Pinball Wizard by The Who. A little song with a story there about a little deaf, dumb and blind kid. Thoughts, Carl?
It's depressing, like I say. I don't know why. Is he enjoying playing the game?
I don't know, let's get Pete Townsend on the phone.
Carl, what are you talking about?
I'm just trying to
Listen to the lyrics, right? Deaf don't like it. He can't hear, no bells and bells. He can't see any flashing lights. He plays by sense of smell. Now, I'm pretty sure that isn't a scientific document Pete Townsend is reading out there when he wrote this song. He's making it up.
But the thing is, with all songs or stories, there's got to be a little bit of realism to it. What, do you know what I mean? Why bother putting money in it? Just let him hit the buttons if he's happy.
That's true.
That's a fair point.
That is a fair point. That is a fair point.
Yeah.
That is great. Yeah, well, I think you've made Daltrey and Entwistle and the whole crew look like fools.
Yeah, they won't get fooled again.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're supposed to. I mean, of all the thing, I mean, it is horrible. We're not like having a go. This is what I always worry about when we play. But at the end of the day, that's what he's singing about. So we're not having a go.
No. And it's not a real person. It doesn't really exist. I say again, it's a fictional person playing pinball and always getting a replay. Okay? This fella's saying that he's good at pinball, he's played from Surrey to Bromley, but there's this little deaf and blind kid. He can't believe it. He cannot believe it.
If you had to lose something, Steve, right?
It wouldn't be money.
That's true enough.
Your sight or your ears. What?
That's too much, I can't decide. That's too painful. Sight or your ears?
What about you?
Intuitively, it would be hearing, because I couldn't...
No, I think it's got to be sight for me.
Yeah.
Well, you're always together, so that's alright.
Anyway, listen, is it almost time?
Well, I've got to ask Carl. I'm sorry, I've got to ask Carl.
Sorry, go on.
Carl, what would you rather be, deaf or blind? When did this question ever really come up? When the doctor goes, well listen, you've got well we can either lose your eyes or your ears. It's up to you. This is never a decision that has to be made by anyone ever in life. But go on then, would you rather be blind or deaf?
It depends where you live.
I'm not even sure these are PC terms, blind and deaf anymore. Would you rather use your sense of sight or sight of hearing?
Depends where you live.
What do you mean it depends where you live?
Well, say if you lived in, like, a barren sort of, Africa or whatever, right? Now to sea, right?
Sure.
So, you could lose your sight.
Sure. But if you lived in a woman's locker room...
Well, if you lived in...
Quite noisy.
Yeah, it's quite noisy.
Stop banging that door.
Yeah, I'll have my sight, lose my hearing.
But if you live in, like, New York, low to sea, but a little bit noisy.
Sure.
So...
Perfect.
That is a brilliant answer. Unbelievable, once again. Can we have monkey news? This show's like one long monkey news, isn't it? When you tune in to hear Karl Pilkington.
I don't know, I'll tell you what, why don't we play a little short track? Right,
What was your
short track?
What?
What is it, Steve?
It's Green Day,
Green Day.
if you
A
like.
bit of Green Day, we'll cram in the monkey news. We'll play the ads, Justin's here, that'll be that. Right,
Go on.
That's what we'll do.
Green Day on XFM, 104.9, which is AC Merchant Karl Pilkington. We need the answers quickly, Carl.
Rockbusters. We're running out of time. We've got Rockbusters and monkey news to come in this fun-packed show.
Give us the clues, give us the answers.
Right, the first one was, why don't you borrow a little bit of land off, Mr. Boardman, or Mr. Laurel, or Mr. Fletcher?
Go on then.
Right, what am I getting at there? The initials were LS, right? Lease a Stan's field. Right, because you're borrowing it, that's leasing it, it's Stan Boardman, Stan Laurel, and, it's a field and that, innit? Second one, I'm gonna annoy those seabirds, that was B. What you doing when you're annoying a bird? You're bugging it. What's a seabird? A gull. Buggles. Right, bug gulls.
I don't know where to start, mate.
Right, don't worry about it.
I don't know where to start. If we had more time,
don't worry,
I'd throw him out of a window. Right.
What the Scouse fella said to the robber he found in his house next to his vineyard.
Go on then.
That was A.W.
Yeah.
That was A, me Winehouse. Right? A, me Winehouse.
What?
A, me Winehouse.
What do you mean Winehouse?
It's a vineyard, and it's a cottage in a vineyard, so that's like a winehouse.
Say it again. What's the clue again?
Amy Winehouse.
Well, yeah, but what do you mean?
Amy.
Why is he saying? Why is it a robber?
Because the robber's getting in, and he's sort of saying, hey.
But what's the robber got to do with it? Why is it just a normal bloke? I don't say why is he saying Amy Winehouse? Why is he saying that?
He's saying to him, hey. get out kind
Well,
of
no,
thing.
no, you can say, no. Sorry, her name isn't
Anyway,
A, Get Out Me Winehouse. Her name is, her name isn't A, Get Out Me Winehouse.
Gavin Thompson got them all right. He's in Edinburgh, so he's winning ladder 49 and that's safe. That's on the
And he's going into the prize draw to win those. This better be a good monkey news, Carl, that's all I can say, because that was drivel. Amy Winehouse.
Play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right. There's this monkey, right?
Yeah.
And it had been, do you know you hear about monkeys being badly treated and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So, anyway, it goes into this home. It's 14, this monkey. It's called, Matty, right? Goes into this home where it's looked after.
What do you mean home?
Just like, just a little monkey home, right?
Okay, so zoo.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, but they haven't got any other monkeys there, right?
What have they got there?
They've got just other animals and that, but not that many monkeys. But anyway, because he's there on his own, again, you know...
When you say monkey, do you mean a chimpanzee, by the way? Because you usually do.
Yeah.
I can't believe that journalist thought this was scripted.
Amazing.
So anyway, yeah, so he gets sort of pally with the people working there and that, and it's smoking fags, it's having a drink at night and all this, right?
What do you mean it's having a drink at night? How?
It's all here, Steve. I mean, we haven't really got time, but...
Well, don't say it's all here like it's proof. You've got another stupid story that someone has put onto the internet. Someone sitting at home in their bedroom has put onto the internet.
So he's having a fag, he's drinking a lovely glass of Bangrock Station.
Yeah, the wine that's perfect for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's loving life, he's forgetting about his past and everything, right? When this other monkey comes along,
Oh
Oh, no.
that was brilliant.
Go on.
right? That comes in, something's said. Right, forget it then. Forget it.
We were talking about famous mantras and sayings and things. Yeah. Never has a mank said so much to so many that means so little.
Brilliant.
So you can have that on your headstone. Rupert.
Your little round headstone.
Rupert's in the Isle of Man. He says, I don't know if you knew this, Carl, but apparently octopus's testicles are located in their heads.
Yeah. But then, to me, that isn't that amazing, because at the end of the day, an octopus, really, all it is an head, isn't it?
So everything it's got has to be in the
It has
head.
to be in the head. It'd look daft if they dangled down below. Right? So all it is, I mean, there's a lot
Hang
of
on,
facts.
it looked daft if they dangled down below. I'm wondering, but that could almost be the B-side to,
B-side to
Knob at Night.
I could eat a knob at night.
James Round says, Carl, if you could be anyone in the world, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Why would you choose to be a dead person?
No, but sometimes, like, there's people who are now dead, but everybody raves about them. What I mean is, if...
Oh, just answer the question. Who would you be and why? It's someone you
No, no,
admire
no.
or you think had a good life. Just answer the
But what
question.
I mean is, it's good to be remembered, like Winston Churchill is remembered
Yeah.
as being a decent bloke, but I wouldn't want the hassle that he had. So I don't want to live his life,
Right.
but it's good to be...
You'd like to be Winston Churchill, but you'd like to have a paper round instead of...
Saving the world.
yeah.
That's what I mean, but is he saying whose job would I want to take on?
It's not that complicated.
The question is this, if he could be anyone in the world, who would Carl be? That's the question. That's all the information I've got.
A lot of responsibility on a lot of jobs, isn't there?
So, some of the names flowing through your head now?
I was thinking, Bruce Willis.
I never expected that! I never expected that!
So his responsibility in your mind is what? Saving people who are trapped in a building with terrorists?
Well, yeah, maybe, you know, his worries are different worries. With, you know, people who have a lot of money come other worries.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So Bruce Willis, he's always going on these marches, isn't he, saying stop war and all that. Mainly because he's got, you know, he's got more to lose if there's a war. He's got loads of houses. One of them's going to get damaged. Whereas if you're poor, you've got the one house. If there's a war, it's like, oh, just end it all for me then. I'm sick of it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Whereas Bruce, yeah.
With successful life and happy life, there's more for you to lose, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like at the moment, because I've finished a job that I've been at for 10 years, right? I've finished working there, so suddenly I've got my timetable's a bit out, and I haven't got enough of a routine, and I'm a man who likes to know what I'm doing. Right?
Yeah.
So now suddenly
5 until 7, washing up with no thumbs.
I've sort of turned into like an old person, where the little jobs that you shouldn't enjoy are now the main event. So
But hold on, how old are you? You're 31, aren't you?
32.
32, and you're pottering around, not knowing what to do with yourself.
Well, like yesterday, Suzanne's shoes needed to go to the cobblers, right?
I haven't heard the word cobblers.
I didn't even know cobblers still existed.
I only ever see that in Christmas films made by Disney.
Well, I had to go and do that, and that suddenly...
Because last time you were going to the toffee shop. And now you're over to the cobblers. Next week it's the candlestick maker.
But all I mean is, that suddenly is a nice little day out. I'm sort of putting my coat on, going, right, I'll go and see the cobbler now and go and have a chat.
Tell me about the cobbler.
You didn't come back with 3 magic beans, did you?
No, the cobbler's all right. He's doing, he's fixing
Cobbling.
shoes and that.
He's cobbling all day.
Have I told you about my Uncle Alf, who was a cobbler?
No?
I'm sure I told you about him. He's the one who, he lived in like a bedsit, and he had 2 tellies. He had like one that the sound didn't work on, and one that the picture didn't. But both together, it worked.
Oh, right, okay.
So as long as he was watching the same channel on both, sound came out of one telly, and he'd watch the picture on the other.
Brilliant.
And he slept in like a rubber dinghy, right? But he was.
Whoa! You can't just let that slide. Why did you sleep in a rubber dinghy?
He just liked boats and stuff, and he sort of.
Yeah, I like boats, but they're better on the water. Beds are better to sleep on. Boats are better to sail on.
Well, he just had it in there. It's a bed sit. It was really tight space.
Boat sit.
He's got this.
He's moved into a dinghy sit.
He's got this dinghy, so he's thinking, well, rather than it get in the way, I might as well use it.
Yeah.
Right? But he was a cobbler, and he used to like repair like my shoes and that, right?
Yeah.
But he'd always sort of overdo them. Right, so
What do you mean?
like,
Fancy.
do you know like Pimp My Ride on MTV?
Yeah.
Because he does up shoes, he'd go mental on them.
What do you mean? There was the stereo.
Yeah.
Well, no,
There was horns.
He'd sound,
Here
Go
comes
faster
Carl
stripes down the side.
Yeah, here comes Mr. Pilkington. He's got the fastest shoes in the land.
no, he'd just make shoes that would last forever. So instead of putting like one sole on, he'd put about 5 on. So it looked like one of them built-up shoes that you never see. He'd just put loads of stuff on. They'd last forever, but they did.
But they look
because
like
I was-
orthopedic shoes.
Yeah. It just like suddenly I was like 6'7" whenever he'd sort of sorted my shoes out. But he's a cobbler, and it's work. That's always there for you, isn't it?
I suppose so.
So you went out with to take Suzanne's shoes to the cobbler.
Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so I just took him to the cobblers and that was like a nice little job for the day. I got a leaflet through the door saying, if you want to walk a dog, the rates are good. I don't know what they pay and that. And I thought if I do that and get a paper round, 2 in 1.
Sorry, you just went from a job, right, where you were the head of production at a radio station, dare I say it, on... can I discuss your...
Well, it was an all right wage. Yeah.
It was very good.
But I wasn't happy, so it's pointless.
No, I know that, but to go from the head of a department on a lot of money to walking dogs and doing a paper round, I don't know.
No, but it's about being happy, isn't it?
I know, but that's commendable if that's true, but... okay.
And that makes you happier.
Well, I haven't walked the dog yet, but I'm just saying if I do... I mean, I'm not taking it if it's raining. I'm just thinking if it's a nice sunny day and I fancy a potter, I'll go round to her and say, well, how much are you paying? I'll take the dog a walk and stuff.
But I can't believe some of the words that have cropped up. Potter, cobblers, toffee shop. It's very, very strange.
Do you live in Narnia? Carl, Joe from Bradford asks, what body parts can you live without? He wants to know. He's obviously having sleepless nights thinking about this.
What, so...
With a brain.
He's coped this far.
I did a bit of an experiment on this, right?
Brilliant.
It's my job at home to wash up, right? Suzanne does...
She gives you all the really big responsible ones.
Yeah.
She sort of like pays the bills and wires the house. And you go, what can I do? And you can go, well, you can go and play with the worms in the garden.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's my job to wash up and that, right? And I thought to sort of make it interesting and stuff, I thought, I wonder if I can do it, right? If I didn't have any thumbs.
And so what did you do?
So I just sort
You
of
sliced
did it.
off your thumbs.
I just sort of held them in, and it's amazing how, like, it took me ages. just having that one thing gone.
Well, it's part of our evolution, the opposable thumb. Basically, that's when we soared. These are milestones in human evolution. The opposable thumb, the forward-facing eyes, the upright. These are massive things in taking us out of the animal kingdom.
And one day, Carl, you'll walk upright.
But what do you mean about eyes facing forward? You mean before we got here, there was people whose eyes were looking in their head?
So, when you were doing this experiment, washing up, you say that you found it difficult, it took you ages. So you didn't just give up once you realised how essential thumbs were.
No,
you actually washed up everything.
I just think of Suzanne walking in and Carl's there, just covered in water and very liquid suds, standing on a pile of broken crockery.
Yeah, plunging his face into the sink every 30 seconds and just swishing his head around.
But we talked about the washing up thing before, I don't know, and I sort of look out of a window, so the sink's in front of the window.
Yeah.
And that's why I quite like washing up, because I can just look out onto the street, see people going past. There's like a local homeless fella called Franco. You know, I look out that he's all right and everything.
Sure.
But I was looking across the way, right, and there's some there's some Chinese people who live in a flat, right, really small flat, and they're up till all hours. I don't know what they're doing. But they decide to back up at about 3:30 in the morning. Right? They're always really noisy and that. But above them, there was some woman, right, who the sort of bedroom is on par to our kitchen, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sort of washing up,
Yeah.
and I sort of look across and see this woman with like, you know, no pants on and that, no bra and that.
Naked.
Yeah, just
That's the word you're looking for.
yeah. She's just wandering about, you know, on that. So I was like, oh, what's going on here? So I carried on washing up and that, right? And kept looking, and then I was looking and she looked at me, right? So we made eye contact.
Sure.
So I was like, oh God, right? So what I thought the best thing to do was sort of drop me pants a little bit. just a little bit, just like, you know, I had boxer shorts on and that. I thought if I just show a little bit of sort of arse cheek, then it's kind of like, right, we quits. Right?
I don't understand the thinking.
So Suzanne's watching the telly, right? I think she was watching Sex and the City or something.
Yeah.
She sort of turns around to see how I'm getting on with the washing up, right? She sees me with like my pants sort of down a little bit with my arse out. She said, "What you doing?" I said, "Don't look now." I said, "But there's a woman over the road, right? With no pants on and that." She caught me looking. I'm just giving her a bit back.
I love the fact that he explains the rules and Suzanne's meant to go, okay.
That makes sense. But I don't. So hang on. So you showed a bit of your arse. You turned presumably to show the arse, or waggled the arse at the woman.
I had to lift it up a little bit on the sort of on the draining board.
What? Hang on though. What did she do? Did you register her reaction when she saw a bit of your arse? What happened?
When she saw my arse,
yeah.
Well, then I wasn't looking because I thought, in a way, I don't want it to look like, well, I've seen a bit of your stuff, here's a bit of mine. I just thought, at the end of the day, I caught a glance of you.
It's only fair.
You've had a bit back. You know, I'm not
You
making
see,
a big deal out of it.
I genuinely think James Stewart missed a trick here in Rear Window.
Yeah.
This would have been, you know, a much better film had James Stewart just popped his pants down.
It would have given a whole new meaning to the title Rear Window.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tricky though. I seem to be surrounded by people like that. Remember that film, that Sliver or something?
Okay, right.
When they've got video cameras.
Yeah.
I'm just looking onto everybody's world and just seeing what people are getting up to. There's nothing wrong with that.
Brilliant.
That's why I like washing up.
Hickory dickory dock, some lads there just wrote a song called Clocks. The lads are Coldplay.
And the song is
Clocks.
Beautiful.
I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, pressing the little buttons there. XFM 104.9. What's that little Well,
I think I do more than press the buttons.
right, see, this is it, right? Karl has had a little strop on since last night, okay? And it's,
He's had a little strop on.
yeah.
You said strop on. I just wanted to clarify.
And, I don't know why. He says that I'm an annoying person. He says that I wound him up, right? Which I don't know. He says that you're winding up because you're sort of like negative about
I'm
everything.
negative?
Yeah. And, but what I think it is because we pointed out that his lateness is unacceptable.
Yeah.
He said, meet you at 6. He turned up at 20 past. He said, well, someone stopped me in the corridor. I don't care.
I've got stuff to do.
We have stuff to do. I think we're a bit busier than you, Carl. You've got one job. We've got loads of jobs. I keep telling you that. Yeah. You've got one job in a little room, a 9 to 5 there, that you don't even get done in 9 to 5. That's why you're late and mucking around all the time.
There's loads of work to do.
Yeah, one job.
No, it's not. It's one job with a lot of other jobs in it. It's like those little Russian dolls you get. Right?
Well, it's not, is it?
Go. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks, oh, he only sits in his studio messing about, making songs a phrase. That's what I do in my free time. Which we've got coming up later.
Super slick. I still think 20 minutes late is an outrage, though.
Yeah, 20 minutes late is...
Yeah, but I didn't say bang on 6, I
you
said
said
around
6. No, you didn't. You said 6, which means 6.
Well, it doesn't.
Wait, what? Sorry, it doesn't?
If I was a newsreader, I'd say, yeah, you've got to be on time. Do you know what I mean? If it was a 6 o'clock news, I wouldn't want to be late. But it's the fact that I said to you, I'm busy, I've got stuff to do.
No, you didn't say that. You said, 6 o'clock to sort out tomorrow's show?
I didn't. I know what I said, so...
Yeah, well...
you don't, because I remember you sent me a text. You didn't even... It wasn't even a phone call. You didn't even have the politeness to call.
Stephen has stitched him up by being a little bit more precise than him.
It was a text, and it said, see you around 6 tomorrow, question mark?
Around. You just said it.
Well,
around
yeah, but
6.
That doesn't count. That doesn't mean anything.
Well, yeah, no, he does.
What? So,
you told me he said 6.
Well, he did. I'm paraphrasing. 6 o'clock, Rick. To me, even if it was around 6 o'clock, that would be 5 to 6 or 5 past 6. It would not be 20 minutes after the event. Because that is late.
Well,
you've got nothing. You see, you haven't even got an excuse.
yeah, but then I turned up, right, and I said, right, well, let's not argue about this. Let's come up with some good new features, because we've been in, Cheapest Chimps. That's gone today.
Good news.
He never liked Cheapest Chimps, Carl, did he?
Right, he never liked it. Do you know what? Do you know who's took it further? Donald McIntyre.
What?
He's doing a programme, Cheapest Chimps.
No, he's not doing
a channel. Well, we'll see. Again, I'll prove you right. Again.
He's not doing a programme, Cheapest Chimps, is he? He's not. What do you mean?
He's doing a tour of trail on Channel 5, and it was saying, you know,
is it 5 or is it about 20 past 5?
He's doing this, he's done that, you know, now see him on Channel 5, because he's moved to Channel 5.
Right.
He's saying, first big problem, chimps, you know, they're deer and that. And,
no, they're not deer. He's getting confused.
No, 50 odd grand for a chimp, and it's saying, you know, he'll look into how much you can get gorilla for.
What are, in the name of God, are you talking about?
We'll talk about that later.
But I don't know. What?
I'm just saying that's another idea.
And then, so go on, you got off. This is why you never get stuff done and you're late. You got off the point. You were talking about arriving late.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying to you now. I turned up late, so I said, right, well, let's not argue.
Yeah.
I said, let's do some stuff.
Yeah.
You weren't having any of it. I think at one point you were trying to be sick on my leg.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Why? Just for fun?
Yeah.
Alright.
That's when I started getting annoyed.
He was very annoyed last night.
No, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see where that could be annoying, but you just gotta think, hey look, so what? It's, you know.
Well,
I think you rub each other up the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, no more Cheapest Chimps today, and nothing to replace it, because we didn't have a chat. Songs of Phrase, we're doing that, you can win some stuff.
Yeah, we've got the film that we haven't done for the last 2 weeks.
The final film, we won't be doing that.
Let him down, it's 2 weeks, so you're 2 weeks late on that.
Can I just ask, guys, is there going to be some great music?
Yeah.
Well, what about something from the Only Ones?
Yeah,
Another
Planet.
Brilliant.
Another Girl, Another Planet by the Only Ones on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, cheer up. Come on. There's a war on. Chill out.
Yeah.
I have to say, you have become increasingly annoying, recently, Rick.
Who, me?
Yeah, chiefly, I tell you what it is, I think it's the hot weather. Can I just remind you, when we were in the office recently, we've got a little office that we write in, we work in, and, many moons ago, we were doing some work. This was when we were writing the first series of the office, and, I was just typing something up we'd written, and I read it back to Ricky, just check he was happy with everything. I was reading it back, and, as part of the thing, there was a knock in the script. It said, you know, knock, and so I was acting out for him, and I knocked like this, and I realised he wasn't listening. He was in fact asleep underneath his desk, and I knocked like that as part of in reading the stage directions. I knocked. He thought someone was coming in. He leapt up, clunked his head, zipped up, thought someone. I said, Rick, it's not. I'm just acting that out for you. He just wasn't paying attention. He wasn't listening. And can I just throw in? So recently, we're in another office. We're typing away. I look round, he's got his shirt off.
It was hot.
He's taking his shirt off, right? So he sat there, 41-year-old man, or whatever you are, 40-year-old man, there with his shirt out. Beautiful. I mean, I've seen most parts of your body now at one point or another. I think from the early days when we used to work at XFM, you started showing me bits of your anatomy, which is something he does to people he likes, friends of his. I'm sure you've seen most of it, Carl.
No.
And so, he was
That's
sat
a
there.
relationship. Go
He
on.
was sat there, and there was a knock at the door because we'd asked someone who worked in the building to bring us something, and so I had to delay it by sort of not opening the door so he could get his shirt back on.
Yeah.
So he was running around trying to get his shirt back on. So
What would they have thought? What would they have thought?
they'd have walked in, he'd have just been sat there, stripped to the waist.
Didn't they sort of think, hang on, what's going on? Look through the keyhole.
No. No.
It was ludicrous because as they came in, he was flustered and he kind of was just leaning against the window, just looking like. I often stand here with my my shirt back to front.
I was getting like Bernard Manning. You seen Bernard Manning? Whenever he goes into the house, he has to go upstairs and take his trousers off. I love that. The fact that in your house you've just got your pants and your vest on. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, but it's all the time. It's not just. I mean, you haven't done that with me, taking your clothes off and that yet. But like last night, we were sat in the pub and I was saying, right, you know, let's not even worry about new features. Then let's get the current ones, you know, going.
Like
getting
what?
Good. Like the one that I was trying to work out, the cheeky freak of the week.
Think of that!
Yeah, but I was
Think of
saying,
that though, as a normal conversation.
yeah,
As
but
a-
I'd looked online, right? I didn't find that much. I found, actually, I'll tell you what I found later. Brilliant. We're looking for them, right? And, then at one point, I think you said to me, go and, you know, what about the Guinness Book of Records?
Yeah,
you know,
loads of it.
they'll have, like,
Yeah.
the best freak
Yeah.
in the world or whatever.
yeah, ever.
So, I said, yeah, bring one in. Now, you've got one at home.
Yeah, I've got a
But you
couple.
couldn't be bothered carrying that in today, so I had to go out of the pub that I was at,
Yeah.
nip into Borders,
Yeah.
buy Guinness Book of Records,
Yeah.
out of my own money, $18.99,
Yeah.
bring it back, and then you said, oh, I don't know if I want to do this feature. So it cost me 20 quid for that. I had to buy a video for Silence of the Lambs film clip. I'm actually out of pocket at the end of this.
But do you want to work with me is the thing. If you want to work with, people would pay that sort of money to work with me, Carl. You're a lucky bloke. Think how many people think, oh, Carl, he gets to drink and sit.
Yeah.
Well, you making a cup of tea, nice surprise, didn't I? Little surprises.
You know, last night, do you know when I left the pub in a bit of a mood, because I just fed up with not getting anything done?
Yeah.
Walking down the road, I was thinking, how can I get out of this? How can I stop having to work with them? I'm thinking, I wonder if I leave, I wonder if they'll be funny and they'll go, and then my boss will be giving me stick. And I'm thinking, how much notice have I got to give out? And all this is going through my mind. I'm walking home and I got in, said to Suzanne, I'm sick of it. She's going, you need to do it when I get a new kitchen. And I was like, yeah, but how big does the kitchen need to be? I was saying, do we need a big kitchen? Can we get a small one? Have we got enough for a small kitchen? Do we need so many cupboards? Can we just have wood instead of steel? All this, trying to get out of doing this.
Yeah. It's always, I always feel like, you know, because I like to think that I'm not perhaps as bad as him.
Yeah,
You
no.
annoy me in different ways.
Like what? How does he annoy you?
Well, stuff that, you know, I come up with ideas, say Cheap as Chimps.
Yeah.
Rockbusters springs to mind.
Yeah.
15
I like
Taiwan.
15 Taiwan. Let's just remind people what 15 Taiwan was.
It was a little feature that I wanted to give a run, you know, give it a little run, see if people like it.
The premise being?
No, there's no premise, it's just a title.
No, we were going to get 15 sort of ornaments, you'd explain them, and then people would call up and say, that one's from
radio.
Taiwan.
Honestly, God, you just explained why I didn't think that was a good idea. By explaining the good...
No, but you know the funny thing is, Steve, right, I was walking down Regent Street on Monday, walked past one of these big stores, right, and they've got all famous quotes on the windows, right, and one of them was something like, an absurd idea is often a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you know who said that?
Go on.
Einstein.
Yes.
Which made me wonder, if you were his mate, would he ever have done E=mc²? Or would you have said, don't bother with that, it's not going to work? Because that's all you seem to do, everything I come up with, you put down.
Yeah.